David Griffin said over the weekend that Zion Williamson re-aggravated his hamstring injury. He could miss several weeks here after the All-Star break. Now, the Pelicans, they've dropped off significantly since Zion's injury in early January. They've won just 6 of their last 20 games. They're scoring 6 fewer points without him in the lineup. And the Pelicans, they're currently 7th in the West. So for more, we welcome in senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, what more can you tell us about Zion and his status?
Yeah, just that, Malika, that the timeline for his return is very open-ended. I think after the All-Star break, when he's reevaluated again, they'll have a better view of just exactly how long it might be. But listen, these hamstring injuries are tricky. I think when you're doing the ramp up on your way back, I think there's always a level of caution of not pushing too hard because you could have a setback. And I think you saw that with Devin Booker this season, came back, played a few minutes on Christmas Day, and then was out again. And so Zion Williamson, listen, he had a first 29 games of the season that was all-star worthy. He was voted a starter, 60% from the floor, and of course, 26 points a game. And the Pelicans were winning. They were 17-12 with him. But they have to be prepared now that they're going to go another significant period here without him in the lineup. You know, they're 7th in the West. They've hung in there. They're around 500. And certainly the hope is that they will get him back at some point before the postseason.
Woj, thank you. We will see you a little bit later in the show. Just a bit of a bummer here for Pelicans fans, because when I was speaking to Zion before the season, he was so excited. He felt like he was finally healthy and ready to go. But Mark Spears, our senior writer from Anscape, you were in New Orleans a couple of days ago. You sat down with CJ McCollum for a diary. What does he make of this entire situation?
Definitely very unfortunate. We talked about the standings and how this team has fallen and fallen and fallen. And CJ had some outside hopes of trying to make the All-Star game, but he knew that once they had that 10-game losing streak, he was done. He says that Zion's been through worse, and at least they're hopeful that he could get back this season. But CJ has his own problems, too. He has a right thumb injury that he's wearing a little brace. And he was expected actually to be in the three-point competition, but had to get out of it because he wants to give his thumb some rest. And it is a thumb that potentially could require some surgery in the offseason. But CJ is holding out hope that, you know, he's going to be fine. He exchanged injury notes actually with Sabonis from the Kings, who has his own thumb injury as well. So they've been out with Brandon Ingram. They've been out with Zion, who knows when he gets back. And you know, CJ is really looking forward to this All-Star break, too, because he's ailing.
Yeah, certainly the injuries are starting to pile up for the New Orleans Pelicans, a team that came into the season with just so much promise. Hopefully they still have a little bit of time to get back on track. Mark, do not go too far. You'll be back with us a little later in the show. Still to come.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here. About that time, happy Monday. Got some Zion news for you guys. Zion is out, I wouldn't say indefinitely, but he is still out and continues to be out for another couple more weeks past the All-Star break. He re-aggravated that hamstring injury, and to give you guys an example of what's going on in the Pelican land is the last 20 games without Zion, the Pelicans have only won 6, right? And that's what the media is saying. But the media is not saying that they were without Ingram at that time. CJ McCollum is injured. He's got a thumb injury. And, you know, I would have loved for David Griffin to get some backup, some help, you know, to actually get something before the trade deadline. But it's still not too late. You have the opportunity to go into the buyout market. I'll post on that in the next couple of days. But yeah, they were number 1 at one point. Now they're number 7. They continue to slide, and at the end of the day, it's kind of like the media is just saying, "Oh, will they even make the playoffs?" I think they will, just because of the fact that, you know, Zion's coming back, Ingram's just trying to like get back into the flow of things. CJ McCollum just got to get used to his injured thumb. He will obviously, that will, you know, surpass, and Zion will come back. I think this is just a good opportunity for the rest of the Pelicans roster to actually take advantage of the time, of the more playing minutes that you actually have, to actually make a positive impact. You got guys like Herb Jones, Dyson Daniels, Jose Alvarado, all those guys. It's just a matter of stepping up to the plate. That's all you got to do. So now you got a tough Western Conference. KD is in the West on the Phoenix Suns. Kyrie is on the Dallas Mavericks in the West. The Lakers, they really built their roster, made a big change in their roster plans. They look stronger on paper, right? I'm not making any guarantees yet. And so it's just kind of like the West beefed up. Oh, and then you got Denver Nuggets, who acquired Thomas Bryant, who acquired Reggie Jackson. Phoenix Suns acquired Terrence Ross. So you got all these teams locking up, loading up on talent. And I know what everybody thinks, that the Pelicans haven't done anything and they continue to slide. But, at the end of the day, this team is injured, and rightfully so, they will return, because Zion's obviously going to return. Brandon Ingram is still playing at a good level, but he can take it up a notch. I can guarantee that he will. CJ McCollum, he's just got to get a little bit more rest, and throughout the All-Star break, he's not an All-Star, so therefore he will take that time to heal. And I just think that the media is blowing this out of proportion. They're just saying that the Pelicans continue to slide, and I know what they're thinking, that they might miss the playoffs. I highly doubt that. The Pelicans, they showed us what they can do. They showed us that they can get to number one without Brandon Ingram, right? Just imagine what they're going to do when they have a fully healthy team before the playoffs. They'll still be in the playoff hunt. They're not going to fall out of the playoffs. They're not going to fall out of the play-in tournament. This is the Pelicans roster. These guys are dangerous when healthy. I keep saying that to everybody. But, when that happens, look out. I got a question for you guys. Do you guys agree with the notion that the media is putting out there? Will the Pelicans make the playoffs? I think they will, but I kind of want to hear what you guys have to say. So leave a comment in the comment section. Of course, you guys know this is Jag from Jaggy Sports.